Ohio State got you one of the best safeties in the country. Kevin, depending on your service, one of the two best in a legacy commit, Sonny Styles.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? Does he grow into a rush end? I mean, I just put him down as a defensive player because we really don't know where he's going to be. 6'4", 215, according to some of the databases. He's certainly going to fill out. I remember going to the Ohio State camp and saw him work out with every different position group on the defensive side of the ball. Ohio State will just kind of figure it out. I mean, I think right now at this point, you look at him maybe as a bullet, but you know, he's a class of 2023. He's got some time, even though he looks like he could suit up today and go out there and play. Notre Dame certainly felt good with his older brother playing there, but dad was an Ohio State Buckeye. And, you know, the timing maybe was a little surprising. The commitment not surprising to me. I know Notre Dame fans really thought that they were going to be able to pull this one, but he's not the same guy as his brother. I think he wanted to stay closer to home. I think he wanted to kind of pick up dad's legacy, and it's a huge get.
No doubt. I'll throw in, I agree with Kevin. I think a lot of people on the Notre Dame side of this felt he was just going to follow blindly in his brother's footsteps, but that's certainly not the case. And the sense that I got was that every Ohio State there's been since you were able to get back on campuses, including several of the camp days back in the summer, Styles was at Ohio State. Now, he also went to Notre Dame, but he was really a fixture, I thought, at a lot of the Ohio State events. And so I see a guy, and moreover, what I see is a remaking of the defense. And it can't come soon enough. I don't think there's enough blue chip talent on that side of the ball, either on the roster or coming in with recruiting. I think this is a failing of an offensive-minded head coach who took the job and subconsciously, perhaps, just accentuated getting receivers and offensive linemen and quarterbacks and running backs, and not worried so much about, we lost out on a 5-star defensive back. We lost out on a 5-star defensive end, defensive tackle. And now you're seeing that kind of change a little bit. I think they understand that you got to have 5-star talent on both sides of the ball if you want to play for a national championship. They got the two great linebackers in the 2022 class with C.J. Hicks and Gabe Powers coming in, presumably this winter, this spring. They could come in and I wouldn't say necessarily start next year, but, push to start next year. And then the following year, Sonny Styles could come in. I don't see him as a safety either. I think he's a middle linebacker, an outside linebacker, or a defensive end. And I will leave it to Al Washington and Larry Johnson and whoever's calling the defense to sort that out. So tremendous get for Ohio State psychologically. Top 10 national player, again from Pickerington, different high school than Jack Sawyer, who went to Pickerington North. This is Pickerington Central. And Pickerington Central has sent kids everywhere, including the Hamilton brothers, to Ohio State. And Xavier Henderson, I think, is from Pick Central, who they're going to be playing against this Saturday with Michigan State, outstanding safety. So good to get back in there and get another blue chip player. Last thing, Pick Central is playing against Upper Arlington. Upper Arlington's 13-0. Pick Central's 12-1. I presume the game will be on Spectrum, Ohio, Friday night at 7 o'clock. A regional final from Westerville Central. Should be a huge crowd and one of the biggest games in Central Ohio in recent memory.
That's one to tune in for. I'm with these guys. I don't see a safety here because anytime you have a 6'4" safety in high school, rarely do they become a 6'4" safety in college. And where does that put him? It just puts him on the field somewhere. Ryan Day has talked about how just in the last week he was asked about or talking about the hybrid offensive players. You've got like Kyle Pitts and say Curtis Samuel from 2016 can run the ball, can catch the ball. Kyle Pitts can run like a receiver, can play tight end. You've got these hybrid players on offense. So you're going to move more towards hybrid players on defense. And eventually there's going to be you've got some positionless stuff going on with defense. And it's like, what position does he play? As Kevin said, he plays defense. And maybe he's rushing the quarterback on one play. Next play, he could be dropping back as a deep safety. We saw Isaiah Simmons do that, which I think is the most common comparison that people who have seen Sonny Styles will use, and those who project him, because again, you're not going to project him as a free safety, but he can do that from time to time, just as Pete Warner did in 2019. You're not going to ask it every time, but he has the ability to do those things. So I think it's huge. It's a good way to get the 2023 class rolling. Legacy kid, so he already understands what Ohio State is about and can convey that to others as well, which I understand he's already been doing as a recruit to other recruits. So it's one of those guys where, I think Kevin said it on one of our previous podcasts, he's not a can't miss, but he's a guy that, like, you have to, you need him. You can't let him get to somewhere else. And I forget exactly how you said it, Kevin. You said it much better than I did, but you can't let him get away for everything he can do. And you also don't want to have to play against him down the road.